Let's turn things over to Canberra now, because joining us live is the acting Prime Minister, Richard Marles. Richard, good morning to you. Firstly, congratulations, acting Prime Minister after so long in opposition. How does that title sound?
Well, thanks, Pete. Pretty astonishing, really. My head's still spinning, actually, over the last few days. But it's very exciting, and it's an exciting opportunity for what we can really do for the Australian people, and I think that's ultimately where we've all got to in our thinking. I said a lot in the lead up to the election that I thought coming out of the pandemic, this was probably the biggest moment to reimagine the country that we've had since the end of the Second World War, and the question was really whether we were going to be given that opportunity, and Australians voted for that on the weekend. But there's also a very real sense of a heavy responsibility. So it's a big moment.
Sure. Okay, now straight on to business. One of those responsibilities is China. Now, Joe Biden has said overnight that the US would defend Taiwan militarily if China were to invade. Will Australia make that same commitment?
Well, I think it's important that America has presence in East Asia, and it's important that America is there with its allies in East Asia. Taiwan, obviously, but with Japan, with Korea, and with us. So we're making sure that there is a strong American presence in this time zone has always been something that we have felt has been an objective in the national interest. It's why the former Labor government put in place the marine rotation in Darwin, and it's also why this meeting of the Quad, countries with whom we share strategic interests, is also so important. So I think those comments need to be seen in that context.
Okay, but the question being, if China were to invade Taiwan militarily, would Australia respond in the same way that the US would?
Well, the Americans have made an important statement. I don't think it's wise to start commenting on hypotheticals. It is important that the Americans have made the statement that they have, because what it represents is an American presence in the region, which is something which is very much in our national interest. And that's what we want to encourage, and that's why the Quad is important, and that's why it was so important that Anthony Albanese attends the Quad so shortly after the election.
Okay, but wouldn't the Quad and even AUKUS and that alliance mean our forces would have to join American forces to defend Taiwan?
We work very closely with the United States. I think it's important to not walk down hypothetical paths, but it's also very important to make clear that we stand with the United States and that we have a very close alliance with the United States, which is really the central feature of our national security framework. It's the central feature of our worldview. And from there, engaging with Japan and with India through the Quad is critically important given the strategic circumstances that we face in our region.